across all social media platforms. We've got a lot lined up for you here today, but first, let's take a look at the highlights.
Tonight, Kisii elderly women who were lynched over witchcraft claims laid to rest.
Mimi niseme nitachukua jukumu, nitakuwa mmoja wa wale watachunga na walide katiba. Kwa hivyo nitaingia kwa mahakama niseme hiyo step lazima ibadilishwe na koti.
Kandara MP Alice Wahome now says she will sue President Uhuru Kenyatta over KEMSA reforms. Another fire.
There is a damage that has been caused by the fire, which we are yet to establish the value of it.
16 students arrested over Kakamega High School dormitory fire.
Welcome to the broadcast. Anwar Rimo is our sign language interpreter. I am Muthoni Maina. Now, the elderly women who were lynched by an angry mob in Marani area, Kisii County, following allegations of witchcraft, have been laid to rest today, with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights launching a probe into the matter. Lavin Atieno reports.
A somber mood engulfed Nyamoni village in Kisii County following the burial ceremony of women who were murdered on the pretext of witchcraft. It is alleged that the lynching of the four was as a result of an ongoing land dispute in the area, with poor elderly persons who are widows largely targeted.
We know that this trend in Kisii is not pussy culture, but it's a practice that most of us that understand what's going on know it has connection to do with the land disputes, disinheriting.
Human rights activists have condemned the incidents, with members of the Abagusi community urged to hold talks and find peaceful ways to resolve such conflicts and prevent similar incidences from reoccurring.
Please, let's come together, let's talk, let's dialogue, let's understand the root causes of this problem so that we are never again coming to bury women or anyone else for that matter because they've been accused of practicing witchcraft. If we have any issues, let us find ways to resolve these issues.
As a commission, we highly condemn this action, and human rights are enshrined in our constitution, and therefore it is the duty of everyone to ensure that these rights are protected.
Local leaders and stakeholders have been urged to act with a sense of urgency in regards to the matter to expedite the judicial process, with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights launching a probe on the matter.
We call upon government, national government, county government, the local administration to ensure that they monitor early warning signs and take immediate action on such incidents. We have also partnered with the county government of Kisii, especially of the task force which was set up by the Governor Kisii County, His Excellency James Ongwae, to look into this matter deeply.
Lavin Atieno, TV 47.
Now, Kakamega High School has been closed indefinitely following a fire that gutted 2 dormitories in the morning. As Violet Auma reports, 16 students have been arrested and are helping the police with investigations.
According to Kakamega Police Commander Hassan Barua, preliminary investigations by security officers and teachers have led to the arrest of 16 students. Deputy OCPD Daniel Mutisia, who visited the school earlier, had promised to track down the perpetrators.
So far, we have no casualties, but there is a damage that has been caused by the fire, which we are yet to establish the value of it. Nimekimbia kutoka mbali sana kuja kujua mtoto wangu ako hai ama namna gani.
The school's principal, Gerald Orina, said they have been forced to send students at home after the fire that destroyed personal belongings of 584 students who were the occupants of the 2 dormitories.
We tried to save some of the students' properties. Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to put it off completely. The students are calm, there is no casualty. except a student property that was roast in the Inferno. No casualty at all.
Parents who arrived at the school accused the fire brigade for not responding on time.
Sasa kama Kakamega school iko less than 2 kilometers from the county headquarters. Na moto unaungua, raia tumesimama, wanafunzi tumesimama, tumepata hasara kubwa.
Parents blame the ongoing unrest in school on erratic academic calendar.
Ukweli ni kuwa ukiangalia muhula huu ulikuwa na majuma 10 peke yake. Sasa hiyo wamefreeze yote mpaka watoto wamalize syllabus kwa hii wiki 10. Na mimi najua ni pressure ya watoto. Ni pressure.
They now want government to establish the possible causes of the fires and be able to contain infernos that have been witnessed in various schools across the country.
Kisema hiyo nigaramie kujenga hiyo dome, sina hiyo uwezo. Na serikali iangalie chanzo za huu moto ni nini.
Siwezi nikasema mzigo utakujia mzazi, sababu wanafunzi wetu walikuwa darasani, walikuwa wanasoma. Kama wanafunzi wangekuwa kule, hiyo tungesema ni wanafunzi, lakini wanafunzi walikuwa darasani.
Jambo la watoto kwa sasa aliwezi tiliwa maanani, na we are not sure moto ulianzishwa na nini.
Meanwhile, political leaders in Kakamega County are urging Education Ministry to involve all stakeholders in finding a lasting solution to the problem.
Ministry of Education iite stakeholders ijadiliane, tutafute suluhu ambayo itadumu kuhusu watoto kustrike. Maneno ya kupeleka watoto half term ama waende nyumbani, postponing a problem is not solving a problem.
Tuko na hiyo maneno ya mashule kuchomeka. Nataka tuangalie mambo ya syllabus. Vile nilitembea kwa hizi shule, nilipata watoto wengine wakiniambia wako na stress kwa maana wameambiwa wamalize syllabus kubwa kwa wakati mdogo. The syllabus is cramped. Ndio tunasema stakeholders wakae pamoja, waangalie mambo ya elimu. Tuko na NAT, tuko na capture.
Somo ndio itafanya tutoke kwa ufukara ambayo umezidi sana kwetu sisi kama wana Marama Central. Azimio langu ni masomo. Ya kwanza ni masomo. Ya pili ni masomo. Ya tatu ni masomo.
Among the schools that have been touched in the recent days and disrupted learning include Mukumu, Sigalame, and Chavakali Boys, who have also been closed indefinitely. Violet Auma, TV47, Kakamega.
Thank you, Violet, for that report. Now, Kandara MP Alice Wahome now says she will sue President Uhuru Kenyatta over the military takeover at the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, and the impending layoffs of more than 900 staff. Our reporter Elizabeth Otieno has more.
The move by President Uhuru Kenyatta to facilitate the transfer of the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority KEMSA to the Ministry of Defense has put the livelihoods of over 900 employees in the authority at risk, a move that has elicited mixed reactions, especially amongst political leaders in the country.
As the review gets underway and in compliance with the legal requirements governing labor management, the board has issued general notice letters to all staff working with KEMSA.
Sasa leo umeweka KEMSA yote, umechukua hiyo kikosi yetu ya mandawa, kuchunga dawa yetu, quality and assurance. Sasa ukichukua uondoe kwa Ministry of Health, vile ulichukua KMC commission ya meat, Kenya Meat Commission, ukachukua hiyo, sasa umechukua KEMSA, umepatia jeshi. Unatuelekeza wapi wewe rais wetu?
900 ordinary junior employees within KEMSA are being sacrificed at the altar of protection of powerful individuals within government and within KEMSA for
Today, Kandara Member of Parliament Alice Wahome strongly condemned the move and has promised to file a case against President Uhuru Kenyatta over the matter.
Mimi niseme nitachukua jukumu, nitakuwa mmoja wa wale watachunga na walide katiba. Kwa hivyo nitaingia kwa mahakama niseme hiyo step lazima ibadilishwe na koti.
In May this year, President Uhuru Kenyatta revoked the appointment of entire KEMSA board following the COVID-19 supply scandal. Elsewhere, Labour Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui has promised to hold a meeting with the Health Ministry over the fate of the 900 employees who have been directed to work from home in the next 30 days.
So as Labour, we see any move or action taken against the employee must follow due process. So I want to believe that the board will review and they will be engaged and they will be able to justify and how this staff will be either suspended, terminated with reasons.
Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47.
Now on to political matters, as ODM leader Raila Odinga today was in the Mount Kenya region in a bid to solicit for the votes ahead of the 2022 elections. Speaking while touring Nyandarua County, Raila said there is nothing that will stop him from scaling the mountain. Elizabeth Mutuko reports.
Sokomjinga, Jabini, Engineer, Mawingu, Olkalau are some of the stopovers ODM boss Raila Odinga toward while scaling the mountain through Nyandarua County. Raila dismissing his opponents for tainting his agenda to give the less fortunate at least 6,000 shillings monthly stipend, insisting that it's doable.
Kila familia ambaye hakuna mtu mmoja ambaye anapata mshahara watakuwa napata kila mwezi kwa serikali shilingi 6,000.
In his scaling mission, Raila urged Kenyans to embrace the Azimio la Umoja campaign, saying it will reconcile all Kenyans as it was envisioned by our founding fathers.
Na kama vile mnajua tulianzisha hii mambo ya Azimio upande wa Nakuru. Na kutoka Nakuru tukatembea mpaka Laikipia na kila mahali, na siku ya leo tumekuja hapa Nyandarua. Mumetukaribisha.
Raila chiding Deputy President William Ruto and his Tangatanga Brigade for promising youth wheelbarrow instead of creating jobs.
Wengine watu wamesoma mambo ya ICT, wengine wamesoma mambo ya useremala, wengine mambo ya electricians, wengine ni mechanics na kadhalika. Kazi ya maana, sio? Mimi sitaki kuahidia nyinyi kazi ya wheelbarrow. Kazi ni kazi. Nataka kusukuma wheelbarrow. Nimekataa.
Different from all other elections, this time ODM boss Raila Odinga is so determined to scale the mountain. On whether this will translate to votes, it's a matter of wait and see. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV 47, Nyandarua County.
Now off to Kitui as Deputy President William Ruto took his hustler campaigns to Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's backyard, where he continued to drum up support for his hustler narrative. The DP father asked his competitors to focus on policies that will benefit Kenyans. Josh Ansari reports.
In just less than 10 months to the next year's general election, the Deputy President William Ruto has intensified his campaigns in the country. Today, he took his hustler politics to Kalonzo Musyoka's backyard of Kitui County. Ruto promising to create jobs for the youth and empower small-scale entrepreneurs if elected the 5th president next year.
Lazima tuweke serikali ambayo itaheshimu kazi ya kila mtu. Hata kazi ya mama mboga ni kazi. Ni lazima tuweke pesa ya serikali kwa sako ya mama mboga. Tuweke pesa ya serikali kwa sako ya bodaboda. Tuweke pesa ya serikali kwa cooperative ya mkulima.
We in Kitui associate ourselves with your bottom-up economy approach. Even Jesus himself was the son of a carpenter. He was born in a manger. lakini aligrow akakuwa kiongozi wa dini kubwa zaidi inaitwa Kristiani, si ndio?
The DP took a swipe at his competitors, blaming them for disintegrating Jubilee's Big Four agenda.
Munataka twende tuongeze cheo ya viongozi kwanza ama tutafutie watoto wenu kazi kwanza? Hawa watu unajua, hawa watu wa rege wanatusumbua. Wanasema ati kwanza ati twende tubadilishe katiba. Nyinyi mnataka tubadilishe katiba ati tuongeze cheo ya prime minister? Si tubadilishe kwanza uchumi tusaidie watoto wetu hawa. Ama namna gani watu wa Matinyani?
Ruto further called on his competitors to focus on policy-based politics instead of divisive politics.
Mwaka ujao hatuwezi kuongea mambo ya viongozi. Hatuwezi kuongea mambo ya vyeo. Hatuwezi kuongea mambo ya kuongeza mamlaka ya viongozi. Kwanza tutaongea ajira ya vijana wa Matinyani.
Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Thank you, Josh and Sari, for that report. Now it's time to take a very fast a short break. We will be right back with more. Stay tuned.
Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Anaongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man who's allowed to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu.
Welcome back. Now, still on political matters, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi's presidential bid received a major boost today after the Nyanza Democratic Party of Kenya branch endorsed his presidential bid. Vincent Karoki reports.
With less than 8 months to the 2022 general election, Democratic Party representative in Kisii, Nyamira, Migori and Homa Bay have drawn their weight behind the National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi presidential bid.
We are here today congregated to endorse our presidential candidate who is none than Honorable J.B. Muturi. Muturi, as you all know, Muturi has got a wide range of experience, because that's why even the Democratic Party of Kenya has settled on him.
Honorable Muturi, we say, welcome to the first opposition party to have given Kenya a president, Honorable Mwai Kibaki. Go Muturi, go bring the presidency to DP.
Muturi is among political leaders who are eyeing the presidency, seeking to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta when he retires next year.
Will be vying for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya on the Democratic Party of Kenya ticket.
Elsewhere, Baringo Senator Gideon Moi says the One Kenya Alliance, which comprises of Wiper Party, KANU, Ford Kenya, ANC, is open to working with any political parties ahead of next year's general election.
Wengine wameanza kuingia that umbrella. Jirongo na chama chake ameingia. Na iko wengi wengine bado sasa we are doing our negotiations, wanaingia hiyo nyumba. Na tumesema katika hiyo nyumba ndio tutasema ndio nani ambayo atafanya aje? Atakuwa candidate yetu sisi wote.
Meanwhile, Iyala Member of Parliament Oburu Oginga says the ODM party is ready to work with other political parties ahead of 2022 general election.
We are not just looking for strengthening our party. We are also looking at associating and cooperating with the other political parties. So we want to work together with the other parties like the one of the BAS, the one of Kiraitu Murungi and any others who don't want to break their parties. We don't want people to break their parties.
Vincent Karoki, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, Garissa Township MP Aden Duale now says he will petition Treasury CS Ukur Yatani to explain how the 2 billion Kenya shillings that was set aside to mitigate effects of drought that continues to ravage most parts of the country was used.
Speaking in Garissa, the Garissa Township MP Aden Duale said once Parliament resumes its sittings on Tuesday, he will seek Parliament to summon CS Ukur Yatani to the House and explain how the funds have been utilized.
When the House resumes, when Parliament resumes, I will rise on my feet and we will ask the 2 billion purported. Mr. President, you cannot declare drought and national disaster. Mr. President, you cannot ask the Minister for Finance to give, through your powers, 2 billion shilling, and the 2 billion is not seen on the ground.
The government had, in the months of October and November, set aside 2.4 billion Kenya shillings to handle the situation, disclosing that 1.2 billion had been spent on purchasing food in the month of October, with the remainder being utilized on the same focus for affected counties.
You cannot, people cannot, public servants cannot use the drought as a conduit of corruption. And Ukur Yatani, you come from northern Kenya. You are a son of northern Kenya. Shame on you. Shame on you, Mr. Ukur Yatani.
During his Mashujaa Day speech, President Kenyatta directed the National Treasury to allocate 1.5 billion Kenya shillings in support of the communities affected by the ongoing drought in the ASL counties as part of the National Livestock Offtake Program.
Fourth intervention is the livestock sector. Noting the effects of the ongoing drought situation, the National Treasury to allocate 1.5 billion to support the communities affected by the ongoing drought, especially in our ASAL counties, as part of our National Livestock Offtake Program.
In regards to this matter, Duale stated that there is little to show on the ground as far as drought mitigation is concerned.
Mr. President, I want to say it here from Garissa. Please do not allow your ministers led by Ukur Yatani. Do not allow your minister for finance, your minister for gender youth, where relief program falls. Do not allow your minister for water to steal the 2 billion and work on the graves of our people and our animals.
Government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna, while speaking in Wajir on Thursday during a food distribution exercise, said they were fully aware of the situation in the 23 most affected counties and will remain proactive in providing food and other essentials.
Drought continues to ravage the majority of counties in the arid and semi-arid land areas, including Wajir, Mandera, Garissa, Tana River, Kajiado, and even Kilifi, among other areas.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Mr. Ukuriatani.
Now, during the MauMau uprising in the years 1952 to 1960, thousands of Kenyan women and men, both young and old, united to protest over British colonial oppression. The men and women wanted their freedom and land back, but there was a cost. Our reporter Kimodo Karanu spoke to a MauMau member. Let's listen in.
Nikienda Nairobi, they knew. I think they were very good spies.
When Nyaga was a young child, he was loved by the white man following his mastery of the English language.
First class, kwa sababu wazungu wakati huo walikuwa, they were very good. Kama if you are good, you are good. If you are bad, you are bad. Basi ndipo nikaambiwa mimi, you know, you are not going to go out.
At the tender age of 12, Nyaga was hired as a nurse by the colonial government, his main responsibility treating victims of war who had been injured.
Everybody was in the village. Sasa kazi ya hospitali wakati huo ni kungojea wale ambao wameumia kule kwa kichaka, kama wanjafariki dunia, wanaletwa hapo hospitalini. And I became one of them, and I became one of the victims. Kwa sababu nilikuwa nikiwatengeza, tukafanya urafiki mwingi sana na wao. Hao wazee walikuwa wazuri sana. Basi tukajuana na mambo mengine, watu wakiuawa kule tunaniletewa, wanaletwa hospitali.
Those who provided protection to the colonialists were Africans, and the matter angered Nyaga, prompting him to find ways of protecting the Africans.
Sidipo nikasikia kuna kazi nyingine hapo karibu ya wakati wa MauMau, nikasikia kuna police wanataka kuandika untrained policemen. Basi na mimi nikakimbia hapo. Mshahara ulikuwa shilingi 120.
Nyaga met with Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Paul Joseph Ngei and shared his plans with them.
Nikakaa hapa, basi nikawa na nafasi, nikawa quartermaster. Quartermaster simply means nilikuwa in charge of armory, nilikuwa in charge of ration and other things like it. Armory simply means wakati polisi wanataka risasi, ni mimi nilikuwa nikitumwa Nairobi mahali panaitwa railway station, ndipo ilikuwa store ya government.
He was later assigned by the colonial government to manage weapons, and his main responsibility was to ensure the weapons were distributed to police stations in the Central and Mount Kenya East regions.
That time, kuna msukasuko mkubwa sana ulikuja ambao watu walienda kwa forest. Sasa the government said, now we have to push some of these people, we go to the forest and chase these people towards Mount Kenya. Watu wa Embu, watu wa Meru, watu wa Kirinyaga, watu wa Nyeri, and we did that one. When they were doing this, mimi nilikuwa a policeman, and I was in charge of all these things. Sasa kuelekea mahali kunaitwa Kianja kwa ndipo tulikuwa tukiingilia sasa kuingia kwa msitu hapo. Ninawapelekea risasi.
At the border of Murang'a and Kiambu, Nyaga always released some weapons to the militant African nationalist movement MauMau, who lived in Central Region and at the border of Kirinyaga.
Nikienda Nairobi, they knew. I think they were very good spies. Wanajua kuspy. Sasa mie nikienda Nairobi wanajua when I'm going. If you know, there is a place known as the Blue Post Hotel. Tukufika hapo nikienda Nairobi kuchukua risasi na whatever, ndipo sasa nikirudi nakuta wameweka manjani hapo kwa njia. Manjani green. That was a sign of seeing that they are there and they are peaceful. They have no problem. Basi nikasimama. Kusimama nikatolea kisanduku kimoja. Don't accuse me of this. nikatoa kisanduku kama ya risasi ya 1000 na mimi nikapatiwa shilingi 100.
One day, the colonial government decided to sponsor his education in the UK. Prior to the relocation, Nyaga ventured into the bush for several days to train MauMau fighters on how to make firearms.
Wakati nilisawa county, nikanja nikaripoti because that is what we call delivery. Kutoka kwa railway station, nimekuja na marisasi 1,000,000 ama 2,000,000, that kind of thing. Lakini kwa store, nina nusu nimepeana, kwa njia nimepeana 2 ama 3. Now, how do I account for this one? In all those 5 police stations I'm talking about, they were all foolish people. Ni wale watu ni maskini, si foolish. Wale watu walikuwa Masai, watu.
Despite Kenya being an independent nation, Nyaga fears that one day the country may be recolonized following Kenya's ballooning debt with the international community.
The amount of money that has been stolen by we people, haki ya Mungu, afadhali kurudisha hiyo kutoka hiyo. Na nakwambia kama mnacheza mtauzwa na hawa watu.
Indeed, such an amazing and intriguing piece on the freedom movement depicted the Kenyan history as well. Now it's time to take yet another short break. We will be right back with more.
Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists, door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point.
You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Ameongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu on Night In as we take the brave step of sharing.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher.
Nyuma ya wheelbarrow kuna economic model.
And trickier with each passing day.
Niliwaambia washushe chini bei ya mafuta.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or...
Welcome back. Now on to Matters Empowerment. The Albinism Society of Kenya has called on the government to strengthen institution and transform the National Albinism Sunscreen Support Program. The society wants the information to be well disseminated among persons living with albinism and their caregivers. Addressing the press in Nairobi, the society has asked the national government and county government to come up with policies that will empower persons living with disability.
So as the chairman of the Albinism Society of Kenya, we are here to add the voice about our existence and to say we are there. And we are calling upon county governments to now start working with the county representatives to ensure the rights of persons with albinism in each and every of the 47 counties are fulfilled. These are our ambassadors, aren't you? Yes. These are our ambassadors, so nobody should say that there are no leaders with albinism. We are also knowing that this is the time we have elections. And it has been discovered that during and around the elections is when persons with albinism are killed for ritual purposes. That's the time we hear killings when there are elections around Tanzania, when you hear Tanzania border people with albinism are being killed. We want to say this time round, we are very ready. No life shall be lost because of the greed of anyone to acquire political power. Yes. Isn't it? Yes. We are not money. We have never been money. Majority of people with albinism are poor. They also need to be supported. Yes. And we are calling upon the security apparatus to be vigilant so that every life of a young person or an adult with albinism is protected. Yes, I was able to make sure that we pushed and we had 100 million shillings allocated by the government to the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. Yeah? So this is government money. Every year to provide for free sunscreen lotions, to skin cancer treatment, awareness creation, protective clothing, and eye care services, and such other resources, including supporting the staff of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities.
Now, heroes who were feted recently during the Mashujaa celebrations in Kirinyaga County for peace building since the 2007-2008 post-election violence have called on leaders not to take this nation back to the dark days. Boniface Baraza has the details.
As the bad memories of 2007 and 2008 post-election violence remains in the past, it is evident that the government has acknowledged efforts by former victims who turn out to be heroes in strengthening the national cohesion.
Wakati wa 2007 wakati post-election ilikuwa, tukakuwa na mimi ndio nilikuwa number 1 kwa poma yangu kuharibiwa na kila kitu. Lakini wakati tulifika kwa kambi nikakuwa mwandishi mkuu kwa kambi. Na hapo nilikuwa natembea usiku na mchana kukanso watu na kuomba, kuambia watu tuombe ili Mungu atusaidie. Kwa hivyo nilitembea kila mahali Kenya hii, hakuna mahali sikutembea, kaenda mpaka Rwanda.
Stella Nyamosi, who got a rare opportunity to mingle with UN Secretary General, the late Kofi Annan, who brokered a peace deal between retired President Mwai Kibaki and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, says her effort has bore fruit.
Wakati Kofi Annan alikuja Nairobi, akaongea na Raila na Kibaki, kutoka huko kesho yake akakuja kwa kambi ya Noiga Mkambu. Mimi ndio mama nilimkaribisha, na mimi ndio niliongea nikamwambia baba wetu umekuja tunataka amani. Na yeye akatangaza akasema kama mama ameomba amani, amani iingie. Na ikaingia kutoka hapo mpaka wa leo. Sasa tunataka ikue side.
Aside from Nyamosi, Delila Siago is a former athlete who was fitted during the Mashujaa Day celebrations.
Mimi nimejaribu kukimbilia Kenya, nimeleta holi kama 5 hivi, nimekimbia mpaka nikachoka. Sasa mimi nataka usaidizi kutoka kwa serikali, kweli wananisaidia. Saa hii sina, niko jobless actually. Hata watoto wangu hawana kazi aki.
As the 2022 political drumbeats continue to grow louder, the heroes have also called on frontrunners to desist from dividing Kenyans along tribal lines.
Politicians wenye wanafanya campaign wasiongee juu ya mwingine, wacha ongee sera zake na ile kazi yenye atafanya. Na tunaomba ya kwamba wakati wanafanya yani campaign yao, tafadhali wafanye kwa amani. Sisi hatutaki kupigwa mawe tena. Tulimaliza 2007.
Though they have been feted and acknowledged, their faces depict agony. The County Commissioner Samson Ojwang assures them of safety.
Serikali yenyewe iko na mpango, inaweka kabambe ya kuweza kusaidia mashujaa. What imekuwa inazungumziwa zaidi ni njia ya kuweka kiti ambao itasaidia wakimbiaji ama watu wa sports.
3 heroes from Trans Nzoia were fitted in this year's celebration, among them Ferdinand Omanyala, who is a sprinter. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Thank you, Baraza, for that report. And now the government is expected to assume full control of the standard gauge railway in May 2022, with 736 graduates from the Railway Training Institute expected to work as technical operators there as a way to boost the transport and logistics sector. Speaking during the Railway Training Institute 59th graduation ceremony that saw 3 cohorts graduate for the first time since the inception of the institution, Treasury CAS Eric Wafuko urged technical training institutions to partner with international universities to facilitate exchange of knowledge and enable Kenyan students to compete fairly in the job market.
And prepared in the maintenance and operations, not only for the meter gauge railway, but also for the standard gauge railway, which Kenya Railways will assume full control by the year 2022, the month of May. To the Railway Training Institute fraternity, I salute you for playing a critical role in training personnel for the operation of the standard gauge railway and the meter gauge railway, including the Nairobi commuter rail service, which includes providing the first and last mile service to commuters by the NCR buses. Consider collaboration and partnerships with the local and foreign institutions of higher learning in order to enhance skill and technical transfer of knowledge in order to compete fairly in the job market, as is the current trend in the world today. The shift to competency-based education and training, for example, will better prepare learners for the job market. The overarching aim is mainly to equip citizens with skills for the 21st century. It captures the aspirations of the country, which places emphasis on the learner's competencies, character, patriotism, citizenship, ability to coexist as a responsible citizen. The government has also recognized the important role that the Technical, Industrial, Vocational, and Entrepreneurship Training (TVET) program play in provision of technical training for the youth in the country.
Moving on, a family of 3 in Kayole area, Nairobi County, continues to receive treatment at the Mama Lucy Hospital after they sustained severe burn injuries following an explosion at their home on Saturday morning. A couple and their 2-year-old baby were rushed to Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital after a morning explosion at their house. According to our eyewitnesses, the explosion was so powerful that it blew off doors and shattered windows of all the houses on 3 floors. The neighbors say they are ruling out the possibility of a cooking gas explosion after a visit to the family's house confirmed that their cooking gas was intact.
Kuna nyumba ilikuwa